alarming information when it comes to one of the most important pieces of safety equipment in your home.
Now, your child may sleep right through a smoke alarm. ABC 3340 Cynthia Gould joins us now with an eye-opening test. Cynthia.
Well, Dave, those alarms are so loud, so annoying. How could anyone not wake up? But the fact is, many do not. And there is a reason for this, which all families must be aware of. It's close to midnight, and we went to work setting up hidden cameras inside a Hoover home as the children slept. Kim and Judd Morrison were game for the challenge, curious if their instincts were right as to whether their kids ages 7 to 12 would wake up. With the help of Hoover Fire's Rusty Lowe, the alarms were set off. We watched, and after a minute, the first to rouse.
Let's go back to sleep. Unbelievable.
Finally, we have one awake enough to bring downstairs.
And it gradually wake you up, or you just all of a sudden, I gotta get up.
Gradually woke me up.
Two were still in deep sleep, so we tried another type of alarm, one with voice commands.
Fire.
Another awake now, but the oldest?
She's not getting up at all.
Then finally, after several minutes, we see sleepy Annabelle start moving.
It's still a long time in a real fire.
I sleep through almost anything.
What words did you hear?
Fire.
The parents agreed their family had some work to do with their fire drills.
So a little bit eye-opening here, although some of the results were expected.
Yes.
No question, things must get moving much quicker in a real fire.
You would hope within the first few seconds they would wake up. But you know, some people sleep heavier than others.
These results don't surprise sleep experts.
Most children do not wake up with fire alarms. They just sort of tune out the beeping. They may roll over.
There is a scientific reason why.
Children have far more slow wave sleep, which is our deeper sleep.
Right now there's a study going on to see if perhaps a parent's voice on the alarm would help get children awake quicker.
We would need more data to say for sure because there's only been one official study.
In the meantime, always make sure your smoke alarm is up to date. More than 10 years old, time to get a new one. There is new technology. It's also recommended you have one in each common area and in every bedroom.
So maybe they're not loud enough being out just in the hallway. If it was in the room, that much louder would be better.
And maybe try a combo of the beeping kind and the voice.
Because you really never know. Two were awakened by the tone and the other two were awakened by the voice.
That's why family fire drills are so important. Make sure the first to wake up, alert those who don't. And I am pretty sure mine wouldn't wake up. What about you guys?
I don't know. I have some heavy sleepers, really.
Yeah, definitely. Now, we did find these Ring voice alerts online. They're not yet marketed in the United States. You can record a parent's voice on it.
Wake up. This is your mother. Wake up. Get out of the house. Get to safety.
Wow.
And the thought is with the familiar parent's voice, they may wake up better. Still being researched, though. We can't say 100%. It's better yet, only that one study. But these, once they do hit the market in a couple of months, should be costing about $99.
Driving without insurance is against the law, but what about flying without insurance?
You may be surprised to learn private pilots aren't required to carry liability insurance to cover injuries to passengers or a third party on the ground. In tonight's Fighting for You, Cynthia Gould talks with a St. Clair County plane crash victim unable to collect damages.
He said he was going to make an emergency landing. And I said, where at? And he said, hold on.
Melissa Freeman recounts the harrowing experience. 4 years ago, a passenger in a small plane that crashed in Margaret, Alabama, barely missing homes.
The first impact, I hit the windshield. I could hear all these people saying, about to blow up, get out, get out, get out.
She says pilot James Chapman didn't even bother to help her.
He then crawled over me and out the door,
He didn't even try to get you out?
He did not undo my seatbelt, did not help me out of the plane.
Today she's left with medical bills and her career as a surgical nurse is over due to a hand injury. But still,
I'm very blessed and I thank God every day.
Thankful to be alive, but angry the pilot who ran out of gas in midair won't pay damages ordered by a jury of $205,000.
Typically, when you survive a plane crash, you send the pilot flowers instead of a lawsuit.
Attorney Vanderveer says the fault clearly rests with the pilot.
Ultimately, it would be helpful for her if Mr. Chapman would take some responsibility for this.
We caught up with Chapman at the Margaret City Council meeting where he served for 10 years. He also owns a local business.
Do you plan to pay her the judgment? And you're not going to take any responsibility? Do I take that as no comment?
Right, no comment. The plane Chapman was flying was registered to a family member. The insurance policy, though, ruled invalid due to no required inspection or a medical certificate. But no law was broken here. FAA spokeswoman Kathleen Bergen confirming private pilots who fly general aviation do not have to have insurance.
I pay tens of thousands a year.
We questioned longtime pilot and the head of the Shelby County Aviation Association about this lack of oversight.
I can't imagine myself going up there without liability insurance and all that kind of stuff. So, and I don't really know anybody that does that.
And while most believe the majority of pilots do carry insurance, nobody really knows for sure the numbers. So the accountability is in a very gray area when there are deaths, injuries, or property damage.
Melissa's got medical bills. She's not working anymore. If she's guilty of anything, it's for, trusting in a person who is in a level of trust in his community at this very moment.
Cynthia Gould, ABC 3340.
It's one of the last places you would expect your ID to be stolen, a junkyard.
Now, chances are if you're in a wreck, perhaps injured, you may never think to clean out your car before it heads to salvage. ABC 3340's Fighting for You spent the past month investigating what's left behind.
Well, Dave, we visited junkyards in Etowah County, Birmingham, and Tuscaloosa, and in every case we found these auto graveyards hold a lot more than just scrap metal and parts, maybe your identity. Rows and rows of old cars wrecked, totaled, sold for salvage. Junk vehicles full of a treasure chest of personal documents, social security cards, driver's licenses, medical records, insurance and banking documents.
Account numbers.
You name it, we found it.
That's like Christmas morning for an identity thief.
In many salvage yards like Pull Apart in Birmingham, people are allowed to roam freely.
High school. So this is what somebody's using to get a job.
Hokes Bluff Auto Parts.
And over at Hokes Bluff Salvage.
Glove compartment, center console.
JJ Pounds says vehicles are full of stuff.
Where'd you find that?
In the Trailblazer. On the back seat.
Even this social security card was left behind. And this.
Yep, full income tax, Rainbow City, 2014. Dependents, social security number.
Over at Bama Salvage in Tuscaloosa, the same story.
Insurance cards, pay stubs, court actions, registration, loan documents.
It is a field day.
You have the address, you have the name.
We took our video to the sheriff's department.
With the tax returns, they can become you and buy cars, buy houses, get credit. You could have $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 worth of credit run up in your name by the end of the week.
And once your ID is stolen, it is so hard to get back. David Green's wife totaled their car. He never thought to clean it out.
She had a pocketbook and the kids were okay. That's the main thing you think about. You don't think about what's in the glove box.
So whose responsibility is it?
It shouldn't be somebody else's responsibility to take care of your identity. That's your job.
We reached out to the woman whose tax returns we found. And even her son's ID was at risk.
I just thought whoever was in there would be squished with the car and burned.
With the phone numbers and address on financial documents, we tracked down another owner.
Is this Bianca?
It's very creepy. I'm very surprised. I'm shocked.
While salvage yards have no legal responsibility to safeguard your stuff, some do destroy it.
You need to clean your car out if you're going to get rid of it, because you're basically leaving your fingerprint behind.
Prints that could have dire consequences. And bottom line, we all need to treat our glove boxes as they're not secure. They are not safe deposit boxes. Do not put those documents in there ever.
What a great reminder. Now, what do auto insurance companies have to say about this?
Now, they both say, we talked to two of the biggies, Alpha and State Farm. They say they actively search out their customers, call them, remind them to clean out their vehicles. And if they can't make it, say they're injured, out of town, they can box them up and send them to you. So please remember this.
Fascinating story. I never thought of this.
I hadn't either before this story.
All right. Thank you, Cynthia. Well, it began as a chance meeting with an elderly veteran facing an incredible hardship.
The city was getting ready to condemn his home, but he kept the faith, and Fighting for You brought him a lifeline. Cynthia Gould joins us with this heartwarming story. Cynthia?
Well, Brenda, 2 months ago, Harold Carlisle was at a very low point in Birmingham's community court, a judge telling him, fix his property or else. As we talked with Carlisle, we knew there had to be a way out of this. Harold Carlisle's home on Avenue S was a neighborhood eyesore, in sore need of a paint job and repairs. As part of Birmingham's Get Tough plan to clean up neighborhoods, he was summoned to community court in August.
You're going to be out on the street because you won't get the house fixed.
The judge asking why he wouldn't file an insurance claim for repairs.
I can't afford to pay anybody to do it. That's the only way I could do it. I told you that before. Well, I'm just going to wait and let them go out there and do what they need to do in terms of condemning the house.
We asked the judge to give us time to help. First, reaching out to the VA. Their team got moving on the claim and negotiated on the insurance deductible. From there, an army of volunteers, including Hoover General Contractors, got to work fixing the damaged roof and chimney. Painters from Home Depot arrived with supplies and manpower.
I believe in America, and you told me that, hey, keep the faith, it'll get done, and it's getting done. And without that, I'd probably been still going around and around and around in the circles with the city.
Months away from being homeless, relief now in a very big way.
Work for me. Man, if this is what y'all call fighting for, take me in the battle with you any day. Glad to be a veteran, glad to be an American.
For others facing sanctions in community court,
we're here as a resource, and we have partners, nonprofits that we partner with to help you. I think we just kind of want to see the willingness.
Courtney says the city has no desire to force people out of their homes. Leaders just want to see more work like we see here. And we were back out at the home earlier this week. Amazing transformation there. Now among the best homes on the block. And we want to remind all veterans there is help out there. If you are facing trouble with housing, you can go to the VA. Several local cities have funds. You just got to ask.